Oh, look at Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. It's Monday. Oh.
My daughters would not be in teacher-based class, and I don't care what anybody says. Call me a hater, call me bitter, call me jealous. I don't give a fuck. They would not be in her class. At first, I was like, I think y'all are just pushing it a little bit. But it's like her outfits progressively get worse and worse and worse. It's giving that you're not there to teach. You're there to accessorize and have photo shoots every damn day. Because why is you posted up on a bus like it's the club wall in 2002? And as the mother of 2 preteen girls, do y'all know how hard it is? I be fighting for my life to get my girls to just stay kids.
TikTok worst teacher. What she did is worse. She calls herself Teacher Bay. TikTok knows her as Peachy. But today, she's under fire as TikTok's most controversial teacher. Because what started as a fun classroom content journey has exploded into chaos. Accusations of unprofessional behavior, outfit scandals, and even crossing boundaries with students. Jury, prepare yourselves. This case is messy, layered, and more explosive than it first appears. Who is Teacher Bay? A high school teacher who goes by Peachy on TikTok. She's amassed over 66,000 followers in a remarkably short time by sharing what she framed as school-related content. But her rise to fame hasn't been clean or free of controversy. Her early videos focused on classroom snippets, fun moments with colleagues, and light-hearted updates about her teaching journey. At first glance, it looked harmless, even relatable. But as her following grew, her content evolved. What began as relatable teacher content spiraled into something critics argue resembles influencer marketing inside a school setting, where students, hallways, and classrooms became the backdrop of personal branding. Supporters claim she's just modernizing what teaching looks like in 2025. But critics point to a deeper issue. When educators cultivate large followings, they inevitably bring social media dynamics into spaces meant to protect students. Every outfit, every caption, every TikTok subtly shifts the focus away from teaching and toward online performance. This isn't just about clothing choices. It's about bloodlines between professionalism and personal branding, questionable judgment about audience and intent, and the increasing influence TikTok culture has over classroom norms and expectations.
Look at my baddie, Teacher Bay neighbor. Miss Williams. Pose. She's so pretty.
Exhibit A, the first day outfit. The video was captioned, "First day as Teacher Bay." She walked confidently into school, head high, smile bright, radiating an energy that says, "I have arrived." A fitted blouse perfectly tucked in, a tight skirt hugging every curve, high heels clicking sharply against the floor. Each step feels calculated, deliberate. She looks glamorous, elegant, completely self-assured. But within hours, TikTok erupted. This is giving wrong time, wrong place. It wasn't about her beauty. No one denied she looked stunning. The conversation centered on context. A school hallway filled with teenagers, minors everywhere, and a phone camera capturing every move for an audience of thousands online. The debate ignited instantly. Defenders were quick to support her. Let her wear what makes her feel good. Others went further, framing it as a feminist issue. It's 2025. Why are we still policing women's bodies? But critics pushed back hard. Confidence is fine, but classrooms aren't catwalks. Dress how you want off duty, but inside a school, you are a role model first. Then education experts entered the conversation, warning how visual presentation influences learning spaces. Students form expectations of professional standards based on what they see every day. Parents weren't silent either. In flooded comment sections, they shared growing discomfort. "My son came home describing this teacher's cut instead of what he learned." That's the problem.
My daughters would not be in teacher-based class, and I don't care what anybody says. Call me a hater, call me bitter, call me jealous. I don't give a fuck. They would not be in her class. At first, I was like, I think y'all are just pushing it a little bit. But it's like her outfits progressively get worse and worse and worse. It's giving that you're not there to teach. You're there to accessorize and have photo shoots every damn day. Because why is you posted up on a bus like it's the club wall in 2002? And as the mother of 2 preteen girls, do y'all know how hard it is? I be fighting for my life to get my girls to just stay kids, okay? Because the way y'all be letting y'all little girls run around here, mine could never. But now I gotta send my 13-year-old to a class and you got your ass jiggling every which way every time you take a step. You standing out in the hall greeting these kids with your Chanel hanging. Why do you need to have your Chanel and your Prada as an accessory when you're greeting the kids coming into your classroom? Or any purse for that matter. Why is it not already locked up in your desk? I don't understand. That alone gives me vibes that you're in competition with these kids, and it's weird as fuck to me. I see mostly people concerned about her teaching horny little teenage boys, but my thing is preteen girls are already fighting for their life, trying to find their confidence, trying to fit in, trying to figure out who they are, and then they got to sit in class in front of Miss BBL 3000 with her Chanel on display while she's welcoming people into class. That is not the example that I want set for my daughters personally. Nothing wrong with BBLs, nothing wrong with the girl's body. She's a beautiful woman. I'm not negating that fact at all, but she's proven that she can dress appropriately without all her goodness jiggling all around the classroom. I'm sorry, like this, anyone who does not see an issue with this, you are a part of the problem. I don't care. And then you posting videos and got these kids' names and their homework all on social media, knowing that your videos get like millions of views, and you're literally posting clips that have these kids' names on their assignments. Girl, find your priorities, because teaching clearly is not one.
Someone accused critics of sexism. Others argued professionalism applies to everyone, regardless of body type. If a student would be sent home wearing it, why should a teacher be allowed? By day's end, the clip was everywhere. Reshared on TikTok, debated on Twitter, staged by other teachers, even discussed in parenting forums. The discourse had evolved beyond just one outfit. It became a flashpoint for national debates about professionalism, boundaries, and the influence of influencer culture inside school. And instead of slowing down or re-evaluating, Teacher Bay leaned in further. Every choice after this seemed louder, bolder, and riskier, setting the stage for a storm that was only just beginning. Exhibit B. Within weeks, her wardrobe choices grew increasingly bold. Shorter dresses, higher heels, and poses that screamed confidence but also drew intense scrutiny. Each post seemed carefully staged, as though her goal was no longer to share her journey as a teacher, but to craft a TikTok persona that was larger than the classroom itself. Her captions also became deliberately provocative, leaning into shock value. Serving looks and lessons. If you got it, flaunt it, even in homeroom.
Oh, look at Miss Williams. Hey, Miss Williams. It's Monday. Oh.
The message was clear. These weren't casual posts anymore. They were strategic, designed for virality, and the audience noticed. People began to see a massive shift. It looked less like a teacher showing up to educate and more like a TikTok influencer staging professional photoshoots inside school corridors. Hallways became runway, locker rows became sets, and her audience, both students sitting in those classrooms and strangers online, watched her every move. One viral comment captured the collective and why does it look like she's in competition with her own students? That single line snowballed into an enormous discussion. TikTok users debated whether she was unintentionally glamorizing a culture of comparison where students were suddenly measuring themselves against their own teacher. For many parents, that triggered serious concerns. Is she modeling healthy confidence or turning school into an Instagram playground? And then came the bigger question, the one that escalated outrage into overdrive. Who was behind the camera? Because these weren't casual selfies anymore. They were perfectly framed, well-lit shots, sometimes mid-pose, mid-walk, and mid-turn. Someone was taking these photos. Theories flooded TikTok. Was another teacher enabling her content creation? Was a friend sneaking into classrooms to help? Or, most concerning of all, was it a student behind the lens? The speculation lit up TikTok's teachers, Twitter threads, and Facebook parent groups. People demanded answers. Teachers weighed in during live discussions, warning about the importance of clear professional boundaries between authority figures and minors. For many, this crossed into safety, trust, and ethical concerns. What began as harmless teacher lifestyle content had now evolved into a viral storm of backlash, transforming her TikTok presence from trendy to controversial overnight. Exhibit C. Next came the infamous designer flex, the moment that turned simmering controversy into a viral firestorm. In a TikTok filmed inside the classroom, she stood at the front of her desk, holding up a Chanel bag with one hand while panning the camera dramatically. The caption read, "These are the only C's my students are gonna see." The video skyrocketed in views, but not for the reasons she hoped. Parents instantly called it tone deaf. Fellow educators labeled it unprofessional. The TikTok comment section exploded. Why are you flexing luxury goods in front of kids? This feels less like teaching, more like branding. The criticism wasn't just about flaunting wealth. It was about timing and environment. Teachers, parents, and advocates argued that classrooms are meant to be safe, neutral learning spaces. For some, seeing designer labels showcased around students felt exclusionary, even performative. Imagine a kid whose family struggles and watching your teacher flaunt a $5,000 bag. Others defended her right to express herself. She bought it. She can show it off. Teachers deserve nice things too. But critics pushed back harder, highlighting blurred boundaries. Flex at home, but in a classroom, you represent authority, not influence. And then came the school bus photoshoot, the real breaking point for many. Pausing in front of the bus, angling her body so the slit in her skirt was highlighted, she leaned into influencer aesthetics. Parents flooded PTAs, asking why a teacher was turning school grounds into a personal runway. Within hours, screenshots from this set of posts spread across Twitter, Instagram, and parenting forums. This wasn't just a TikTok moment anymore. It became a symbol of a larger debate where personal branding ends and professional responsibility begins. Exhibit D: Students, Followers, and Boundaries. With over 66,000 TikTok followers, one thing became clear. Her students weren't just aware of her content, they were actively consuming it. In one widely discussed video, she captioned, "Come with me, Williams, to get my hair done." Williams is what students call her in school, and this is where the problem intensified. The caption blurred the lines between her personal brand and her professional role. Was she inviting students in her private life? Was she encouraging them to follow her off-campus persona? For parents, this became deeply unsettling. Comments flooded TikTok. Is this teacher talking to her students? So we are mixing classroom relationships with influencer branding now? Parents demanded answers. Was this content intentionally created for students to watch? Was she leveraging her teacher-student connection to grow her online influence? Was it inappropriate to merge classroom identity with personal marketing? Experts on digital safety weighed in, warning that this reflects a growing issue: the collapse of digital boundaries between authority figures and minors. When students follow teachers online, every caption, every TikTok becomes part of an extended classroom, one that's unmonitored and unregulated. Educators in response forums stressed the risk. Teachers need separate boundaries. Mixing professional authority with personal exposure creates power imbalance. This incident ignited a broader debate about privacy, influence, and whether educators should create strict walls between their online persona and their role in shaping young minds. Exhibit E: TikTok's divided jury. TikTok is split, and the divide has become one of the most heated debates yet. Side A: let her live. Stop shaming confident women. Supporters argued this is about personal freedom and individuality. They believe women, including teachers, should not be policed based on their body type or clothing choices. To them, the backlash represents outdated double standards and excessive moral policing. Side B: this isn't about confidence, it's about ethics. Teachers should model professionalism. Critics fire back that this isn't about body shaming but environmental responsibility. They argue that classrooms are meant to be structured, neutral learning spaces, and teachers are role models first. In their view, self-expression should never overshadow student welfare. Parent forums reflect this tension. Some claim it's society's problem for sexualizing women's bodies, while educators insist educators must set and uphold boundaries within sensitive spaces. Some also raise safety concerns. When students start following teachers online, every post blurs the lines further. Others counter: we need to teach kids self-control, not silence confident women. This evolved beyond one teacher's outfits. It's a broader cultural clash between personal freedom, digital influence, and professional responsibility. And the lingering question remains: where exactly do we draw the line between self-expression and safeguarding students? The fallout: parents are demanding immediate action, flooding school boards with emails, phone calls, and formal complaints. TikTok creators are amplifying the controversy, tagging local news outlets and pulling millions of views in reaction videos. Hashtags like #TeacherBay, #ProfessionalBoundaries, and #RoleModelMatters are trending across platforms, driving the story into mainstream discussions. Behind closed doors, there are reports that school administration has already spoken to her privately. Some insiders claim HR has stepped in for a formal review, while others speculate that dress code policy changes for teachers are now under urgent consideration. Meanwhile, TikTok is amplifying the storm. Her videos are being reshared endlessly, sparking dueling teachers and live debates, fueling even more outrage. and intensifying the scrutiny from parents, educators, and media outlets alike. This isn't about one teacher. This is about TikTok colliding head on with classroom ethics, a cultural clash that's redefining how we view professionalism in education. The TikTok algorithm rewards controversy. Outrage fuels engagement, and the more viral the video, the higher it climbs. But when classrooms are repurposed as personal content studios, students become collateral damage, exposed to dynamics they were never meant to navigate. This raises bigger questions about digital responsibility in education. Teachers today aren't just educators, many are influencers, creators, and brands. That dual identity comes with immense power, but also immense risk. Authority and influence aren't the same, but when combined, they can distort boundaries in dangerous ways. Whether intentional or not, teacher-based choices have blurred those lines for everyone. They've forced parents, educators, and policymakers to confront hard truths. We haven't yet defined where personal branding ends and professional duty begins. And now, we're all asking a bigger question. Where do we draw the line, and who gets to decide? Verdict. And so, jury, it's your turn to deliberate. Best of the evidence, the outfits, the captions, the blurred boundaries, and the viral chaos. Is Teacher Bay guilty of crossing the line between personal branding and professional ethics? Or is she being unfairly targeted by a culture that scrutinizes women's confidence more harshly than men's misconduct in similar positions? Did she knowingly exploit her role for personal clout? Or is this a case of society failing to adapt to modern realities where personal branding collides with professional responsibility? Drop your verdict in the comments below and let us know where you stand on the future of professionalism in the TikTok era. Court is adjourned.